I will say, I don't think it's very realistic that she could be looking at him and have her head held in such a way that she can't even make facial expressions. Like, if somebody was yelling at me and being like, just tell him no, just tell us no, that he's not a baneling and you'd be fine, that you wouldn't be able to tell that I was trying to talk or, like, trying to say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you would be able to look in my face and be like, she's not fucking okay. Something is wrong.
Personally, I feel like I'd be able to look at your eyes and know.
Yeah.
But there are people who can lie like a motherfucker right to your face and you'd never know it too. Not saying that's you. I'm just saying I feel like I've known you for a really long time.
Yeah.
I'd be able to tell. Second, I don't think they'd be able to hold her head still enough to where she couldn't shake her head even the tiniest little bit. But the best point was one you brought up earlier.
Yeah.
Your face exists. Mouth it.
Yeah, they didn't cover her mouth.
No. If her hair was being held, it's being held on the back side of your head, probably very tightly if you couldn't even shake your head, but then nothing's in front of your mouth. You know, they uncovered your mouth to make sure that you could say no.
Right.
If you were going to, but obviously Pal doesn't know about the magic Bernie liquid, so she totally could have mouthed something to him to let him know. It wouldn't have made a difference. I think we can all agree.
No, it wouldn't have, but he would have been like, why can't she talk?
At least then Pell would have known that you didn't betray him.
Right. That's the ultimate point that we are trying to get to. She wouldn't have to live with this, like, imaginable pain from not knowing. But even though he didn't get the message, and he feels betrayed by her, he tells the torturers that he's not going to say she's a baneling to save his own life. By the way, torturers is like a weird word. I can't say that very well.
Torturer?
Torturer.
It's a lip movement more than anything else.
Ugh, I hate it. They cut his head off. I'm sorry, that's not funny.
She said, laughing. They just
chopped it off. They cut his head off and held it in front of Addie's face before pouring burning liquid into her eyes, making her husband's severed head the last thing she ever saw.
Gosh, you know, you read things in these books and you think, okay, that's probably as bad as it's going to get. And then it gets so much worse in so many different and very, very creative ways. I applaud Terry at coming up with ways to hurt and maim people. I'm just saying, I couldn't think of most of this stuff.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
No.
Addie, as I feel like a lot of us could relate to, flies into a rage after this happens. It's a little surprising that it takes her this long because she does admit, like, halfway through that she could have used her gift at any point to stop it, and she didn't. Because of the oath.
Yeah, she was playing by their rules.
She waited until they blinded her to fly into a rage and use her gift to kill every motherfucker in the room.
This is 2 call-outs for Pulp Fiction in this episode so far, and I'm very, very happy with that. It reminded me, when you said that, of Honey Bunny.
Oh.
In the beginning. And I will execute every motherfucking last one of you. And that's exactly what she does.
Yeah, she just strikes out everywhere. And yeah, I feel like it was a little too late. Like, at the very least, before they blinded you. Once they killed your husband, all bets off.
Yeah, I kind of feel like just before they killed Pell would have been the ultimate moment to really do something like that and lose it, because at that point, losing your temper could have saved him. Of course, she wasn't blind at that point. So maybe she would have been able to do something and not hurt Pell. Blinded, she just lashed out everywhere. She might have actually accidentally killed him.
True.
But that would have been the point for me to where it's now or never, because after this point, he's dead. Of course, after he's dead, there's no more rush.
Right.
But you're still going to kill everybody.
Well, this is depressing.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
You know what helps me when I'm depressed, which is probably not very healthy, but
I think I know the answer.
It's alcohol.
It is. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was right.
So I think it's time for the beer break.
Well, tonight we actually have something different. Again, not beer.
Sorry.
one of our listeners named Samantha actually wrote into us and told us how she's allergic to hops. So she can't have beer. It's a no-go for her. So she's either got mixed drinks or seltzers. Now, we were talking about seltzers. Spoiler, we have seltzers. We were talking about them on our live episode. We had never tried one before. So we got some. The ones that she recommended to us were Truly seltzers. She said to try the lemonade. But we couldn't find any of that, unfortunately. So we got the Truly Wild Berry hard seltzer. So on the picture, they have what looks like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. And I, for one, think it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's got raspberries on it, so Nate's like, okay.
I'm in, yeah. No, the thing about it is that it is like a water. So there is fruity flavor, but it's not like fruit juice.
Right.
It's not that flavorful, but they are tasty, and I could definitely crush a lot of these fast.
So we're going to get a refill, and we'll be back right after this.
And we are back. So after Adie commits multiple homicides, multiple, after the blood is done splashing the walls, which is how she knows when she killed someone, by the way.
Yeah.
She crawled around, counting the dead bodies, blind, and in excruciating pain, and she realizes that one of them motherfuckers got away.
Okay. I can't imagine where my brain would be after all this. This is, like, traumatizing. You're, like you said, you're in pain. You just saw your husband die. This is a lot. I don't know how I would be calm enough to count the bodies and not panic while being blind and surrounded by blood and death. It might be shock, okay? But being blind, I feel like would just fuck me up so much that there's no way I would count one body. Like, I would count one, and then I would kind of circle and be like, oh, that's two, but it would be the same one. And then I would never escape the barn.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of understand where you're coming from on that. Like, you just went through this extremely, extremely traumatizing situation. You also, then, you murder a whole bunch of people after that and be like, okay, I'm done. It's time to go home.
Yeah.
But she's got forethought, though, because she knows she doesn't want these people coming back after her. So she's got to make sure they're all dead.
Yeah, like, I mean, I see the logic in it. I just, like, way to go, bitch. I couldn't have done it.
No witnesses, motherfucker.
I probably would have curled into a ball in the corner and just cried. So.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you're finally done. Your husband was just murdered. You just murdered all the guys who murdered your husband. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Then sit down and the emotion is going to get you. You know, she's also thinking, well, the police or whoever are going to be here soon. You got abducted once. Who knows? Maybe you won't even make it back home today, but somebody's got to be coming.
Does it say her gift guided her home? I think it did, right?
Yeah, she just kind of followed her gift.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, all of this is just like a feat beyond imaginable for me.
And she's not bald at this point.
No, she's gonna grow some hair out.
Yeah, but she's blind and used her gift to drag herself to her grandma's house through town.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So people probably saw her and chose to not help her.
That could be. I mean, I don't know. We don't know technically where Grandma lives. She could be on the outskirts.
Out in the boonies somewhere. Yeah, that's true.
But I could see people choosing not to help her either.
Yeah, it's a whole Good Samaritan thing. Like,
yeah.
No, you probably deserved it, so I'm good.
I mean, even Grandma Lyndall, when she sees her, immediately, she's broken, bloody, and she accuses her of breaking the vow. She's not like, oh my god, how are you? Are you okay? What happened? She's like, the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
And Adie responds by force choking her and chucking her into a wall.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, all she gives a fuck about is the oath.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that Addie looked at her and was like, oh, well, I can't hurt her for asking that question first. But she had already force choked her and threw her into a wall.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I get it. I feel like you're angry, right? Is that accurate? Why don't we use our words? It might be a little bit more effective, a little less painful.
we can be friends.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, I'll be real good friends with you. Just don't do that again.
Don't throw me into the wall. I'll be nice. I'll take care of your wounds, which is what Grandma does. She tends to her wounds while scolding her, though. She's like, hey, you shouldn't have fucking done that.
Well, she's a grandma. She's going to do that.
Yeah.
Grandmas do that.
She does admit the other people were fucked up. They should not have hurt her like that. That was worse, but, like, you shouldn't have killed them with your gift.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good, okay?
Did you think maybe for just a minute beforehand, maybe I shouldn't murder all of these people? Maybe killing people is not the right thing. And I get that. But didn't you hear how absurd it sounded when it came out of my mouth just now?
Yeah, as you just said it, I was thinking, what is your response supposed to be when somebody tortures you like that and also kills your husband in front of you? Like, I get murder and torture, not the answer. Most of the time.
Right.
I feel like this is one of those few of the times.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll get back to this in just a second. But, like, the way that they abducted both of them, you know, I mean, okay, obviously I was joking about the windowless van, but, like, they surprised them, grabbed them, brought them into the mill, knew automatically to separate them and keep them apart from each other. They're practiced at this. We are not the first people that this has happened to.
Right.
So they've done this time and time and time again. Now they're just doing it to us. And every time they do it, it earns them the death penalty. It earns them that. So they've done this multiple times. At that point, yeah, you kill those people because they're going to keep doing it. They don't just, you know, represent harm or danger to our people in this book. They're going to continue doing this. And it sounds like the blood of the fold. This is what they do. They don't need proof. They just show up with a corpse and say, this was so-and-so. They were a baneling.
Yeah.
Money, please.
Yeah. It's bad. It's not good. Like, they think that they're doing right, but the bad guy always thinks they're doing right.
Right. Ooh. That came up in the first book, too.
Yeah.
That's why they're so dangerous most of the time.
Yeah. Righteous anger. I don't want to say anger.
I mean, to them it is.
Yeah.
Essentially, to them it is, and that's why it's dangerous.
Yeah. So, one day, Lyndall was called before the King's Circle. They had some questions. They were like, hey, so some people walked up on this crime scene, and they were kind of wondering where the main suspect was. You seen her? Because, like, her husband was dead, and all the people who looked like they may have killed him were dead.
We might be going out on a limb here, but we believe she may be involved.
Yeah, maybe. And Lyndall lied to them, but she was like, you gotta go. Okay, I can't have this bullshit here. I'm not gonna fuck with it.
These people aren't going to stop. They'll be back. I mean, they'll be back.
Yeah, like, they knew you did it, and if you're here, like, it's gonna be kind of obvious if they knock on the door and you're, like, here.
Yeah, well, and now you're gone. No, I don't know where she is.
Right.
Sorry.
Told the truth.
So they also probably know.
Yeah.
She knows, and they'll be back, and she knows that they'll be back, but that's why you have to fucking leave. Because if they come back and they don't find you, I still might get the shit beat out of me, but you won't be here, and they won't get you.
See, I don't know. I think it's more about her than it is about Addie.
You think it's about her status in the community? Like, I'm not going to be looked down upon for harboring you after you did that.
Well, I think that and just saving her skin. Like, I think she's just, I'm not willing to risk them finding you here and, like, hurting me or killing me, so get the fuck out.
So this, then, is my one solid one. After that,
yeah,
you're kind of cut off.
Yeah, I stood up for you. I said you weren't here, but now you gotta go. Because if they find you here, like, I do not want to pay the price for you.
Right. So Addie decides it's fucking time to go. Like, we can't stay here. She's not going to help me out anymore. She heads outside, and when she does, she's met with a line of soldiers. all soldiers in their pretty armor, lined up in perfect ranks with horses that stopped in perfect time with the horse next to it. And like,